Hey folks, so I won't have the best quality here because I'm just using this cheap phone. I got no fancy equipment set up here. I do have equipment. I should probably set it up. Anyway, as most know, I do a lot of poetry, and even in the last couple of months, I've done like 150 songs plus more books and stuff like that. But every now and again, I get a piece that I like to do that's just spoken word. So it's, part poetry, but more, read. Anyway, I've always liked spoken word, no matter what the genre was that people were speaking about. And just, I guess, kind of gives depth to things. Anyway, I'm not articulating that very well. My point is that I wanted to read the spoken word that I wrote today. And I might stammer a bit, as I've said before in other videos, that my eyesight's not the best, and I don't like wearing my glasses, but I'll read through it as I'm scrolling down my Facebook here. I want to read it to y'all and post it up on my YouTube and stuff. So I might stammer a bit, but it's written because, I've been sitting here the last few months going through a really, really bad depression. And as most know, I spent pretty much all my time alone. I don't see people too often, and I only go outside if I have an event to do, or if I have to go next door to get my medications or something. But and I'm finding it harder and harder to go out. The city I live in is not the nicest to me. There's a few places I can go where I'm treated well. Places like the diner I go to, and I'll go to a barber shop or something like that. But there's not a whole lot of places where people look at people like me with a whole lot of kindness. And it's a lot of the reason why I miss the East Coast so bad. I just want to be around people that I can actually be around that don't care about my tattoos and stuff. I have no regrets about my tattoos, and in some other video I'll explain what the tattoos mean and all that stuff. But for today, the purpose was I wanted to try to do this spoken word. Again, I do talks all the time, but I don't do this, spoken word stuff and that. But I do really enjoy spoken word. So for those of you that don't know the difference between poetry and spoken word, look it up. Anyway, I'm going to try. And as I said, this one came today because as I'm going through all this depression, and I went way off topic, didn't I? Anyway, as I'm going through all this depression and stuff, I started thinking about why this is happening, and why, after so many years, do I still have severe depression and everything else? Granted, I've seen a lot and done a lot in my life, so I'm going to have depression. That just happens, but I don't have to be a captive to it. I have CPTSD. I don't have to be a captive to it. Yes, I have it, and I do suffer nightmares and all that stuff, but I've learned how to cope with it and the triggers and stuff like that, and I don't have to be captive to it. But to deny that I have it is just foolishness, because I know I have it. I've had it my whole life. It's a consequence of the life I lived, and also the life I went through, and different things like that. So it doesn't just go away. It doesn't get washed out of your mind. But you don't have to be captive to it. You can rise above the CPTSD. You can rise above the depression and stuff like that. Do you have it? Yes. You have it, right? And if you suffer, you suffer. But you don't have to be held captive to that suffering, if that makes any sense at all. And anyway, so I'm going to try reading this. And it's called God Knows. And that's the thing, really. God knows. And when you're ready to give it to Him and not be a captive anymore, then God will, without question, be there, because He knows. So this is called God Knows, and it's a spoken word. The reason I do not go back to who I used to be is because I now believe God knows me. He always has, but I never chose to be free. When I suffer with depression or pain, God knows. but I chose not to be free. Yes, the memories remain, but the pain, God knows, and I can be set free. There are many things from my past that will remain, but they do not have to hold me captive, because God knows, and I can be set free. The anger I feel about how people treat me, it's okay. God knows, and I do not have to be angry. I can be set free. Being a victim of years of torment, I could still hate the world, but I found God, and He knows, and I have been set free. I survived for years on the street alone. I did not know God then, but He knew me. And one day, I'd be set free. Months locked in a solitary cell, alone and empty, but I was not really alone. God knew, and He sent for me. Even the years I did not believe, that was okay, because God knew me, and He believed in me. Years of hard living, the feelings of being lost, my life destroyed, that was the cost. No forgiveness, just hate and shame. But that's okay. God knew me, and He waited for me to call His name. When that day came around, I was on the ground, body broken and mind weak, and God knew me and saw me and watched me weep. Moments away from taking my life, He saw me. He knew me. He had to save me again. And this old life had to come to an end. I yelled out, "Why me, God? If you are real, where's love? Why do you let me starve?" Meaning, why does He starve me from His love? Give me an inch, Lord. Show me real, pure love once. And He heard me. And He knew. This will be a real gut punch. In an instant, what I never saw but felt was a love I'd never known, because He knew me. He gave me what I needed on the floor that day. He gave me the love I had let go astray. Only because He knows, after feeling that love, my heart became new, because now I know what God knew from heaven above. The years after God showed Himself to me, my heart remains in complete loyalty. And even in my struggles, financial, physical, or complaint, I know God sees me, and He knows my heart. And when I show and have faith, He kickstarts my heart. So from day one until now, hardships may come, but faith in the Lord will get life done. If you are in painful life today, just remember, God knows, and He is waiting for you to say, "Hey." Anyway, maybe that sounds stupid, whatever. I gotta get used to reading these things if I'm going to keep writing them. Anyway, thanks for listening to me babble on, and I'll get better at these things as time goes on, and I keep writing them. Anyway, thank you all. God bless.